You don't need a lot of land to be a gardener. In fact, in some cases, you don't need any at all. Today we're going to talk about container gardening. And to help us out is our friend Carrie Kelly. Now, Carrie's built a lot of containers, right?
Hi, Roger. I have. And you know what I love about container gardening? Containers are close to you, you're intimate, they're on your deck, your patio, your walkway, whatever you want. Size, colors, whatever you want to do, you can do it in a container garden.
Big space or small,
That's
it all
right.
works. Why don't you show us how to put one of these containers together?
All right, let's do it. What I like to look for in a container certainly is aesthetics. You want it to match your decor and be beautiful. Like this beautiful glazed pot here. You could use clay, you could use plastic, ceramics, and most importantly, you want those containers to drain. See how we've raised this pot right up with little pot raisers? The water will flow and drain right off and keep your deck from rotting as well. We're going to use a wooden pot today.
So you want to make sure that your wooden container is rot-resistant wood like cedar.
That's right, and has very good drainage as well.
Right, you can see the hole in here and there's room between the slats for water to go.
That's right. And we're going to add some broken crockery so that the soil doesn't flow out of those holes, but all the extra water does flow out. Okay, so let's just add some of this broken crockery. We're going to cover up that hole so our soil doesn't pour out.
People don't realize how important it is to have good drainage in their container.
That's right. If you don't put drainage in, your roots rot. With rotten roots, you don't have any vegetables or plants.
So just a light layer in the bottom?
Light layer on the bottom. There we go, Roger. I think that's good.
Okay.
All right, now it's time for us to add our soil. You want to pick up a nice, light, soilless potting mix, right? We got some vermiculite, some perlite, some peat moss in here, and dump that right in there.
Why not just use regular garden soil?
Oh, way too heavy, Roger. The roots will rot again. We need nice, light soil that the air gets in there to the roots and water flows right through. There's also nutrients added to this soil. Now I'd like to add some time-release fertilizer. And over time, Roger, these little pellets will break down and fertilize the plants.
How's that, good?
That looks good, Roger. So now what I'd like to do is add some of these water-absorbing crystals. Now you add these little crystals. You can't add a lot because these will blow right up and turn into big pieces of jelly.
Well, they're great because they absorb the water and their volume increases, but when the soil dries out, they release that water right back to the soil.
That's right. And 1 teaspoon turns into about 4 cups of jelly, so I think that's probably good.
We ready to plant?
We are.
And what are we going to put in this container?
How'd you like to make a pizza garden?
I would. What goes into a pizza garden?
Tomatoes, basil, oregano, everything you put on your pizza.
It sounds great, and right now there's a real trend towards doing vegetables in containers.
That's true.
So
Very
this will be
popular.
good, and the kids are going to love this
They
one.
will. They will.
So what do you want to start with?
You get the tomato, I'll get the trellis.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to put this trellis on the end of our container here. So when the sun comes in, the herbs in the front don't get shadowed by the tomato.
Great idea, because if you put the tomato in the middle, it would just crowd out the herbs. So
That's
we're going
right.
to take and pop it right in the end?
Right. Can you pop that right out? And this is a patio variety of a tomato.
So it's not going to get 5 feet tall.
Right. Get a few feet tall and that's it. Perfect for containers. All right, let's add a little bit more soil and then get our herbs in.
Okay.
There we go, Roger. That looks good. Okay, let's plant the basil next.
All right, here you go.
There you go. Oh, look at the roots on this, huh?
Yeah, you got to tease those out a little,
Yeah, let's
huh?
just open that up a little bit. That's good. I'm going to plant this right in the center. There we go. Perfect. Now we're ready for the oregano. Ah, there we go.
That one's not too bad.
Yeah, and that one's not so pot bound. I'm going to put this one right on the edge. That oregano is going to grow and trail and come right over the edge. It's going to be beautiful.
What's our next step?
Now we're going to water our plants thoroughly. And mixed in with our water, we have some fertilizer.
That's great. That liquid fertilizer will get to the plants right away and help them get started growing quickly.
That's right.
Meantime, that slow release fertilizer will break down, and when the roots get down to it, it'll be available for them.
That's right. And you'll continue to fertilize through the summer. Okay, it's time for some mulch. Okay, so we're going to just put some mulch on the top here. You know, it looks pretty aesthetically and it retains the moisture.
That's the important part.
That's right. Always about keeping the roots moist but not wet.
And how thick are you putting it down?
Well, it depends on the mulch you're using. In this case, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch mulch. What we're using here, Roger, are cocoa shells. Can you smell the chocolate?
Smells great.
Yeah, doesn't it? Well, Roger, I think our pizza garden's complete.
Yeah, and we followed your rules. We have the height of the tomato plant, we have the basil in the center as a filler, and we have the oregano that's going to trail over the edge.
That's true. They're not hard and fast rules, but it's great when it turns out.
It did turn out good, except for one thing.
What's that?
Where's the pepperoni plant?
Oh, Roger Pepperoni.